All right, guys. Welcome to this week's recording going on Instagram. Last minute special guest. We've got Jono at my place at the moment doing some work and doing some filming. And we've had a couple of guests fall through. We had Leon fall through earlier in the week and Carly sort of seemed to fall through a bit last minute. So we've got Jono here who, as you guys know, on Instagram all the time, loves the stories function, has been able to create a lot of buzz around his own stories. I was just sharing with these guys the message I think that for you guys in regards to doing your stories is setting up that routine, setting up that sequence of going like what sort of things you can share. And I was saying for me personally, I feel like I don't have a bit of a message to share sometimes, and I'm sure that's how you guys are feeling. So it's I think it's a matter of a bit of mindset, a bit of focus, and I think as trainers you do have a message. Probably like again, it's probably easy for me calling kettle black. But you do have a message that you could share with your audience out there, and it can be anything from setting up your session, your training stuff, your your food, meal preps, you name it. There's plenty of stuff you guys can share. But what I'll do is I'll throw to Jono. We're on record, and Jono will get going on Instagram. Yeah, they should be. Run with all this afterwards.
Just a meeting, right? Yeah, easy. All right.
Both Lisas today.
Both Lisas. Awesome. Oh, sweet.
That's really disappointing, Jono. You don't have an everlasting lid on.
I know. Well, you know what? I came. The day's been crazy. I went to the gym, and then I had this networking meeting I got. Then it's just been straight here. If I knew, I didn't know I was doing this video. If I knew I was doing the video, 100% I would have everlasting. But let's get into it. So Lisa, we're talking Instagram. All right. What I think I might do.
At least you won't have to remember anybody's name.
Yeah, I know. Piece of cake, right? All right. I'm just going to run through this one by one. So run me through. What are you doing on Instagram at the moment, Lisa M?
We ran through that on Monday with Trav. Basically, I post 6 days a week.
Huh?
And I give myself a day off on the weekend and don't post on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I don't particularly love Instagram. Travis and I were just talking about that then. Often feel like I don't have anything to actually share or talk about, or in particular in stories. I get a bit stuck with stories. So, but most of my content is client-based. Mm-hmm. So, sharing client wins or sharing, PBs or things like that. I don't do boot camp, so all my stuff is one-on-one. Mm-hmm. I do a seniors group fitness class, which I've just added into my schedule recently. So that's I've been able to, focus on that and post about that. So that's given me some additional content, which is really good to have.
Okay.
And then I just post directly from Instagram straight to my Facebook business page, which is quite easy to do. Double up with that.
Awesome. All right, cool. This could be good because I use a completely different strategy to that. Lisa Pankers, run me through how Instagram's going for you at the moment.
I haven't really been focusing much on it, but I don't have a schedule that I post or anything. So if I have done something cool at boot camp or I have a nice photo, I'll upload it and think of a caption, but I'm definitely not organized. I've been running it for probably 5 years and only got 750 followers. So yeah, but I don't know. I probably need to schedule more or be more onto it. It hasn't been a focus of mine, so that's why I haven't done much with it.
Awesome. Okay, this will be good. So I'll share my Instagram strategy. I don't think I've posted in about 6 months. My Instagram strategy is not about posting. My Instagram strategy is about getting leads and getting clients, right? So in terms of my actual feed, I just want my best photos on there. So if you go to my personal one, Jono Petrohilos, it's just like the photos that have got the most likes and comments or whatever. If it's a bad one, I just delete it. My whole thing is I just want that feed to be like a website. So I want, if someone goes on to me, oh, what's this guy about? Oh shit, that's a good photo. Oh, that's a good quote. Oh, that's a good quote. So my strategy of getting new clients is not about posting. I want my feed just to look good, right? So if anyone stumbles across my profile, there's a higher chance that they're going to follow me. With me so far?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cool. So I do post a lot in stories, but stories is just, for me, it's so easy. Like let me see if I can break down how to do it. I just post I just post what I'm doing, or I'll post something that I think is cool. But I guess my best strategy on stories is getting someone from a story into a DM, right? So like, to summarize, there's two things I do with my stories. And I want it just to be good, fun, engaging content. So people actually want to see my stories. That's like part one. But part two is I want my stories to basically set people up for a sale, right? And I may even be able to give you an example now. I just want to have a look at my last story that I did. You know what? This isn't a bad one, actually. So jump on. Can I get both of you to jump on Instagram? This one is super salesy, right? So it's not the best example, but it'll just give you a rough indication of some of the stuff I sort of post on there. So just go, both of you got your phones there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So just go to my personal one. Yes, exactly. So if you go to my story, is the first one that you see, would you like a free copy of ... Cool. Would you like a free copy of, and then it's a poll, you know, blah, 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 whatever. A free copy of this course here, you know, which is valued at that amount there. Would you want a copy? Yes or no? Great. All you got to do is enter this, or is win this Instagram challenge, which kicks off next week. You know, sign me up, or how much is it, with a poll there. And then, hey, it's $1, you know, sign me up, or out of my budget, whatever, or swipe up to get it. So what I'm essentially doing there is just converting my followers into leads, right? Any single person that votes on any one of those is getting a DM from me. Anyone that's mentioned, how much is it? Anyone's mentioned, yes, I'm interested. Anyone that's mentioned anything from that there is getting a DM from me. Hey, Lisa, I saw you're interested in the Instagram challenge. Is that right? And that's when I start my sell there. All right.
Out of my budget.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I want those things to be
At $1.
exactly. And I want those polls. They're always a yes and yes for me. My polls are never, do you want to do this boot camp? Yes or no. It's, do you want to do this boot camp? Oh, yes, I'm interested. Oh, tell me how much it is. Right? So I only want people yes and yes. And then every single person that votes, I just send a DM, and then it turns into a conversation, which will either turn into a sales consult or a client, because everyone's going to be at different levels, right? I can DM someone there. Hey, you're interested. Let's just put it on a personal training side of things. You could do a post like that. Hey, are you looking, anyone here excited about summer's coming, right? Who's looking to get into better shape for summer? Hey, anyone looking to some sort of accountability, to, you know, someone to keep them accountable? Great. Hey, have you seen my new personal training package? Hey, it's actually this here, comment below, or, you know, send me a message if you're interested. Anyone that's voted on any of those polls along the way could get a DM from you. Hey, Lisa, I saw you're looking for someone to keep you accountable during the training. Is that right? And whatever they say can go from there. If they're like, oh yeah, hey, but look, I'm not interested in blah, 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 blah. Great, leave it. Oh yeah, you know, I've been trying to get in shape, blah, 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 blah. Hey, maybe my new program can help. Have you seen it? Hey, what's your best number? Let me give you a buzz. Make sense?
That's good. So you don't really, yeah, my problem, I don't interact enough on Instagram. I worry about just getting my post out there and hoping that someone will make a comment, but I don't do anything else.
So I'm the complete opposite, right? And there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. I know my skills. My skills are not taking good selfies. As you can probably see, I'll probably lose followers if I take a selfie right now, right? But my skill is in conversation. I know how to have a conversation, and sales. And my skill is in sales via a DM and sales via a phone call, and just having a conversation with someone and seeing if they can help. So that's how I look at Instagram. I'm like, hey, I know that my photos aren't going to probably attract a whole heap of people on them, but hey, I know that I can help people if they can just give me a chance and have a freaking conversation with them. So my whole goal is, great, how can I just have a conversation with someone? And if someone votes on that poll, that's like an opportunity for me to have a conversation. I'm not going to say I'm going to sell to them just because they, you know, made a thing on the poll, but it's given me an opportunity that I can actually message that person without looking sleazy. Because really, I could just go through all my followers list and message someone, hey, do you want to buy my thing? But it's not really appropriate, right? But if I've made a post and it's somewhat related and that person's voted on it, it gives me an opportunity to message that person there and then just start a conversation. And that's where I spend all my time. And like, I'm just sharing this strategy, not saying it's what you have to do, but it may be something to try. And be like, hey, instead of spending an hour a week on Instagram posting and putting a filter and coming up with the right photo and coming up with a good description and yada, 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 maybe just spend an hour getting down in the DM, you know, just seeing who's voted on the polls and just sending a DM, or who's liked a photo and sending a DM and just going in the DM there. So that's my whole strategy there. That's only part of it though, right? Because that's only the part of converting your followers into leads. Because at the moment, and how much, so you got about 700, Lisa P? How many followers have you got, Lisa M?
200.
200, okay, cool. So
300. I've only been on Instagram about a year.
Okay, that's all right. So not too bad of a strategy with that sort of following, but we want new followers as well, right? Because we want to get new followers so more people are seeing this stuff. Otherwise, we're just posting the same stuff to the same people, which isn't bad, but it's just a start, right? But before
Can I
move on,
ask a question?
Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm going to butt in. So you say with the followers, like I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I'm following 860 people on my bootcamp page. How many of those 860 people am I actually going to watch a live of? So essentially, like, you know, the stories, because I know if I go to my home screen, I guess my favorite people come up first. How long until I'm actually going to be in someone's view? Like if I've got 700 people following me, how many of those 700 are actually going to see my shit? Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. Okay, so same with any social media algorithm. What happens is when you post, only a small percentage of people are going to see it. The more people that interact with that post means that the more other people are going to see it and the more chance that person has of seeing it next. So let's just say, I'll give you an example. Let's say you posted today and you posted 4 different stories with 4 different polls, right? Let's say I go on there and by chance or whatever, I see your first one. And let's say I see your first one and I just exit out of there. Chances are I'm probably not going to see your next one because Instagram knows, okay, Jono wasn't that interested in Lisa's one. But if I saw your first one, oh, that's pretty cool. Let me see your next one. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, there's a poll there. I'm going to vote on that poll. And then you vote on that poll and then I see the next one. Instagram's probably going to show me your next post there. Make sense?
Yeah.
And then same thing as well, where let's say, for example, you posted a story. Instagram will, let's just say 10%. Let's say you've got 700 followers. Instagram might show it to 70 people, right? Instagram show it to those 70 people. Let's say every single one of those 70 people swipe out after the first story and don't continue watching. Instagram's going to be like, that was probably an uninteresting story. We showed it to our 70 best friends and every single one of them skipped out. We're not going to waste anyone else's time and show that. However, if they showed it to 70 people and every single one of those 70 people watched the whole thing through and voted on a poll or whatever, did they just watched it through or whatever, Instagram's going to be like, man, that must be a sick story. We're going to show that to more of Lisa's followers. So then they'll show that post to more of those followers there. And then that cycle continues. When you do your next Instagram story now, Instagram's probably going to show it to more people because more one interacted to your last one. And then it's just a flow like that. To simplify, the more interactive your posts are, or the more engaging your posts are, the more people are going to see them. The less they are, the less they're going to see them.
And should we save all of our stories and put them in highlights? If they're interesting enough, like not so much polls, but like I do a lot of videos of boot camp, like of clients actually working out. And I have different highlights, like one might be boxing, boot camp, yoga, stroll aerobics, before and afters.
Before and afters 100%. The other ones are probably, it's a lot of variables there, right? So the before and afters work well because what you want is, like, that's what people will go by. Someone goes on your Instagram. Depends on the client, right? It's a bit different for us as trainers. And I'm not sure, your demographic is mums or?
Yeah, I basically say to someone, hey, if you want to see what we're doing, I got heaps of videos on Instagram, and so they can kind of
what
see
sort of
that.
stuff do you run a boot camp?
Yeah.
So it depends on your clientele. Most people, a boot camp looks like hard work. That's going to scare people off, right? And I'm not saying it depends on your clientele. Like, say, for example, me, I would want
I've heard that before, though. Yeah.
Well, it depends on your target market. So let's say, for example, myself, I would want to see videos before I train with someone, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm a trainer and I want to make sure the training is good. However, your average client, let's say, your average 35, 40-year-old woman that wants to lose a bit of weight, if they see a video with battle ropes and medicine balls, I can't do that. This thing's too intense for me. I'm going to sign up somewhere else. So it depends on your client. If you're targeting someone like me, it's probably going to work. somebody that's not fit, that might scare. I'm not saying it won't, but I'm just giving ideas here. That may scare them off and be like, oh, I can't. I'll come back and do that when I'm fit, which is freaking
That
never.
makes more sense. I've had people say, oh, I'm not fit enough to join.
100%. You know, so it's more like the testimonials are good because you want to be like with any sort of marketing, you want like the person to look at it and be like, man, that person looks like me. Shit, look at him now.
Yeah.
If they could do it, why the hell can't I? Or what have they done?
Yeah.
That's what you want them to see there. But I'll give you another strategy though. That's not a bad idea, but I wouldn't obsess too much over that. I'll give you 2 things that I would recommend obsessing over, right? The first one is the stories with the polls, and just be like, okay, how can I do really engaging stories so that people actually vote on them and watch all my stories so that I get higher up in the algorithm? With me on that?
Yeah.
The next part to that as well is great. How can I use these stories and polls as like a seed to give me an excuse to DM people and essentially sell to those people? That's my whole story strategy there. Post to make it engaging, but also post so that it gives me the opportunity to DM someone and then either sell in a DM or get on the phone call and sell. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
I recently did it's one of my ads that I'm putting out. It's my story and I put it on as Instagram TV. And I didn't even think about it, but I'm going to now. I'm going to message everyone that's watched it, maybe. Just be like, hey, what did you think of my story? Can you resonate with it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so let's simplify it. The goal is to get in the DM as much as possible, but also DM the hottest people as possible as well. And what I found, so any DM is good because it starts a conversation. The reason why I like the polls are I always make my polls somewhat leading to a sale. So let's say, for example, you run an outdoor boot camp, right, Lisa?
Yeah.
You might do a story. Hey, summer's coming up. Where do you prefer training in summer? Indoors or outdoors? That's your poll, right?
Okay.
Anyone that's hit outdoors to that, hey, Lisa, I see you like training outdoors. Hey, where are you training outdoors at the moment? Oh, hey, did you see our next boot camp we've got? See how that would be a hotter lead than someone that's just liked it. Not saying not to message the person that's just liked it, but there's different levels of hotness.
Would you be like, it's just an idea because like some people want to train in aircon is an example where you go to a gym or whatever. You wouldn't say, hey guys, give me a poll. Where would you like to train? Outside in the beautiful outdoors or inside stuck in like make it say like in aircon or something. Or
Yeah,
like
100%,
stuck
100%,
inside.
100%. And that's awesome because it's more polarizing, right? And what we want is to get a certain amount of people. We don't really want to get that lead. Oh, but doesn't it get hot outside? Nah, I'd prefer to train in a gym. We don't want those people because they're not our type of people. We want to just exactly 100%. We want to get those people that are like, yes, bang on, that's me. I can't think of anything freaking worse than training inside in the gym and it's cold and you get sick and it's a beautiful day and I want to get nature. That's the people we want. So the more polarizing you can make it like that, the better. So do whatever you can there. Hey, what do you prefer training, one-on-one or in group? Anyone that hits a group. Hey, do you prefer training in mixed groups or groups with just women? And just and see how like these are just so freaking, and see how like this is why I could do so many stories all the time. It's just I'll spend 5 minutes in my head. All right, what's a polarizing thing I can do? Yeah, let me spend 5 minutes and do that story. I don't need to take a photo and get the filters and come up with a description and come up with the hashtags. Not saying that stuff's bad. It's not bad, but it's a lot of freaking work. I find, and with my skills, my bang for my buck is in the DMs, right? But I also want to move on from there and say how to get new followers and start DMing new followers as well. Now, this is quite simple. You know how to search on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So you simply there's 3 ways you can search via places, tags, and location, right? So what you want to do, let me get my Instagram up here. Whereabouts? You're on the Gold Coast, right, Lisa P?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Currumbin.
Okay.
Oh, Palm Beach.
Palm Beach. Okay,
it's Palm Beach, but
that's right.
I find Palm Beach is in the US. It's bigger.
Oh, okay.
I have trouble with that.
Yeah. Okay. we'll say like, and Lisa M, do you know that strategy as well? Hey, if you go in Instagram, let's just say, for example, you type in Currumbin in there, right? If you typed Currumbin in places, you would see a list of anyone that's checked in ever at Currumbin. So you know they're a local, right? Same thing with hashtags. Anyone that's hashtag Currumbin, what the hell are you going to hashtag that if you're not a local, right? So you know they're a local as well. Or accounts, that's like other local accounts in your area, right? Now, many different ways to, essentially what you want to do is DM your new followers, right? Someone follows you, send them a DM. Hey, thanks for the follow. Hey, you're based in Currumbin. And then you essentially start the sales process there, right? So the whole challenge is great. How can I get a whole heap of people following me that are locals in Currumbin? And it's quite simple. You just need to interact with those people, whether you like their photos, whether you comment on their photos, whether you follow them, whether you share their post in your story, whatever it may be, right? Your whole goal is to get them to follow you. So that's where I would spend the rest of my, and I'll give you a few different strategies as well, but let's just say the easiest is the follow unfollow strategy, where you may simply be, great, I've realized that for every 100 people I follow, 20 people are going to follow me back. So, hey, every day I'm going to spend 5 minutes and I'm going to follow 100 locals, whether I do it from the hashtag, whether I do it from the location, or the other option is following the followers of other local businesses. Let's say there's a F45 at Currumbin or whatever. You might open that one and you might follow all of their followers, right? Let's say there's a supplement store at Currumbin, you know, or whatever, any local, anywhere where the mums go, with the local mums, I don't know, whatever the local things is around there, and then follow their followers. You know that, okay, great, I'm going to, for every 100 people I follow, 20 are going to follow me back. Those 20 are going to get a DM. If ideally I make a sale then and there. If I don't, hey, they're going to be engaged with my stuff anyway. Make sense?
Yeah. How many can you follow a day without Instagram banning you?
About 100 an hour, every hour.
100,
so,
it's an hour, is it?
Yeah. Oh, you could follow. Yeah, exactly. So many different
Not
things
per
going
day,
on.
okay.
No. Well, many different things going on here. When I first did this strategy, I hired a virtual assistant to do it because I was like, I can't keep up with that sort of volume, you know? And I actually outsourced all of that to a virtual assistant. So they followed 100 people. Oh no, they followed, I got them to follow 50 to be safe because I realized 100 was on the border, right? So I said, hey, follow 50 people an hour every hour for 8 hours. Whoever, use this app to unfollow whoever doesn't follow me back. And then whoever follows me, send this message first, this message second, and then I'll go in from there. And then I'll take over and I'll take the DMs from there. Make sense?
Yeah, so you outsource that. Yeah.
I do. So it depends depends how you want to go about it. If you're just doing it for, let's say you're only going to do it for, let's say you're just going to do 100 a day, because it depends on your area, right? You may not have 1,000 people a day to follow, or whatever, 500 people a day to follow in your area, right? You may only have 100. So if you've only got 100, you can follow 100 people in a minute, right? You may not need to outsource for that. But if you want to go harder on that, you may be like, hey, look, I really want to grow my Instagram fast, so I'm going to use this strategy. I can't be bothered sitting there following 500 people a day, so I'm going to outsource that. Make sense? And then also with my virtual assistant, I'll get them to do a follow-up message as well, because a lot of people, they're not going to reply to the first message. I hardly ever reply to the first message. If someone messages me, hey, thanks for connecting, I can't be bothered, you know. But if they send 2 or 3 follow-up messages, I'm like, okay, this person's actually interested in the conversation. I may actually chat to them. So I'll get my virtual assistant to do those first couple messages if they reply, if they don't reply.
What do you tend to say? I know you're obviously a different industry now because you're doing what you're doing. Would something that we'd be saying, oh, hey, thanks so much for following. Are you a local in the Palm Beach or Currumbin area? Would that be something you'd say?
I'll break it down. First, I'll just say, hey, hey, Lisa, thanks for the follow. Appreciate the support.
Oh, that's it?
Leave it at that. See what they reply with. If they reply, yeah, no dramas, I'm blah, blah, because they might give you more info, which allows you to sell better instead of you just going straight in for a sell like that. Hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate the support. They may give you some info. They may not. They may say, okay, no dramas. Or they may even not reply, right? Yeah. But I think it's easier to start with that, and then you can go back in and follow up. You can go in a couple of days later. Okay, great. This person never replied to this first message. I might send them another message. Hey, Lisa, I was just checking through your Instagram. You're from Currumbin, right? And then you can start there.
Yeah, okay.
And then
An open-ended question.
Open-ended question. And then even they're from Currumbin. Sweet. Hey, I'm a local trainer. Look, if you ever need any fitness advice, just let me know. If you've got any friends that are looking to train, just let me know. Just keep it super casual like that. Same thing. They may reply, they may not. And then you can go back a couple of days later as well. Hey, by the way, just let me know, I'm running this free open week next week. Did you want to come down to training?
Yeah. And that's even with no replies or anything. You just,
100%.
That's the third one.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, okay.
So I guess, that's another trick as well. Just keep don't think because someone didn't message once that they're not interested.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. Some people are going to message on the phone. I'm probably a prime example. Man, you got to message me 2 or 3 times if you want me to reply, So that there. And also I want to stress on the Instagram DM as well. It's also like the most underutilized form of conversation. Like now people get 1 million emails, they get 1 million text messages, 1 million Facebook messages, 1 million phone calls. The Instagram DM, that's quite a private place, right?
Yeah.
There's very little competition there. So, and it's also, there's something about it where it's not as intrusive. You know how if you send someone a text message or an email, it can be quite intrusive. They're like, oh, this person keeps texting me or emailing me. Like an Instagram DM is just so passive, But we've got about 5 minutes. I want to give one more strategy as well. So the collaboration strategy too. So the follow is good to get volume straight up, but it's hard work and it's a long-term game. And then an easier way to do it, not easier, but a different way is a collaboration as well. So what you want to do is get as many different locals as possible to do some sort of collaboration with you. There's 2 easy ways to do it. One way is with your clients. So let's say you've got clients that have got a big community in the local area. Now, don't get confused with this, right? Because you may have a client who's got 10,000 followers, but if none of them are in your local area, they're not going to freaking train with you. If you're doing online stuff, maybe different. You can use that. But if we're talking local sense, it's just going to help if they're locals. But anyway, I'll explain the strategy and you can pick and choose from there. Essentially, what you want to do here is, let's say you've got a client. You could say to that client, hey, do you mind if once a week you take a story of us at training and then tag me in it? Something like that, where every week you've got a client that's taking a story. Hey, here's me at training. He's my trainer, meet my trainer, or he's us at training, or he's whatever. Something where that client is posting a story and then tagging you in that story. And then best still is if they do a story after that essentially says, click here to follow Lisa for fitness tips. And then an arrow, an emoji of an arrow pointing down with your name tagged there. So someone who follows that person, oh, that's what Lisa's doing these days. Oh, she's training with Lisa M. Follow Lisa M here. Hey, I'll follow Lisa M. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Let's say, for example, you get 5 different clients to do that. That means every day you've got someone shouting you out on Instagram story in front of all their followers. Make sense? My opinion, that's way more freaking powerful than posting every day.
Yeah.
Because you're posting every day. Yeah, some people may see in the hashtag, some people may share it, comment or whatever. But if you've got someone that's got 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 followers and they're saying, hey, follow this person here, and they're doing it every week, and you've got 5 different people doing that every week, that's an easy way to grow your following with hotter leads as well. Because if you're doing the follow, some people, they may be somewhat interested, but it's almost like a referral. If you've got someone who said, hey, this is where I train, follow her, that's closer to a referral, right? Now,
that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, 100%. Now, and also with that, you may pick and choose. Some people may do it of the goodness of their heart. You may even give them a few dollars off. Hey, your membership's $50 a week. I see you got a big following. Hey, if you're willing to do 5 stories a day, 1 day a week, I'll give you $5 off your membership. So you're essentially paying $5 a week for marketing to get in front of that person's huge audience. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Would you be out? I've got a few clients that have actually got followings, but they don't personalize it themselves. I don't know. They sell goods, but they don't sell themselves, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they have big followings, but that's just one example. But would you then say that their followers are probably not suitable because they're more like a store and they're online? So am I trying to get maybe my followers that might only have maybe a couple of hundred, but it's their family and friends? doesn't matter how many followers they got.
Exactly.
That doesn't matter. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, I guess the equivalent to do it is, say, for example, if you're, say if we're going back to like old school marketing, you want people that have a lot of local followers. And actually, I'll use this strategy online as well. Let's say, for example, because the other way you can do it is not necessarily with your clients, with other local businesses. Let's say you've got a local physio in the area and they've got 100 followers, but all of those 100 followers are their actual clients that you know are in the industry there. That's the perfect person to collaborate with. You can say to that physio, hey, you know, I've got 1,000 followers, I've got 700 followers that are pretty much all locals in this area here that are training. Are you cool if, like, you know, if they need a physio, I tell them to go to you? Why would they say no? Right? And what you can do is you share your content. You say, hey, do you mind if, like, you know, you take a video for, or you might share one of their posts. Do you mind if like once a week I'll share one of your posts and I'll tag you and tell my clients to follow you for injury prevention? And can you do the same for me as well? Just like, you know, I'll give you a video to post, or, you know, you share one of my posts and you post it on your feed and just tell your followers to follow me as well. So it's reciprocal there. So it doesn't just have to be your clients. It can be like other local businesses as well. And then same thing there. Let's say you get 5 different local businesses that are doing that. Every single day, you've got a client that's shouting you out via their stories. And you've also got a local business shouting you out in front of their followers as well. Every single day, you'll have 2 people.